Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Parkside's transition evening. It's 7 o'clock on Thursday, the 9th of July. It may well be that you're watching this video at a different time, and that is, of course, one of the many benefits of us running a virtual transition evening for you this year. I hope you enjoy what's going to come. It is going to involve a lot of different people, so you're going to meet a number of different members of the school's senior leadership team. We're going to be talking to you about lots of different things about how we operate as a school. You'll find out about different subject areas, the support that's on offer, and what it's going to mean for you to be a Parkside student come September. It might sound like a long way away, September. I can assure you it's not. In fact, it's 8 weeks tomorrow, if you are watching this video on Thursday evening. So 56 days or thereabouts. So Friday, the 4th of September, is the day that you'll be walking through these doors as a very proud Year 7 student at Parkside. So what you're going to see during this video is a sequence of different shots of leaders from the school who are going to take you through what that's going to look like and feel like. We're really excited about what's to come. We hope that you are too, and we'll look forward to seeing you at Parkside very soon.
I feel very proud to be the head teacher of Parkside Community School. Parkside has been a very successful school in recent years in lots of different ways, not just in terms of the academic achievements of young people, but most importantly in terms of what those young people go on to achieve after they've spent 5 wonderful years at Parkside. And we're very proud of all of the youngsters who've gone on to do some great things in recent years. Our success is down to lots of different things. I think most importantly, I'd say it's down to the fact that we place a really high importance on the role of every single member of the school community in developing the school to be the kind of place we'd all like it to be, the kind of place we'd all like to work, to learn, and to be successful together. So it's really important that you, as new parents and as new students to the school, really embrace that opportunity and take it on board and see it very much is your responsibility to contribute to the future development and success for everyone at Parkside. I, of course, am part of a much bigger team. So this evening, you're going to meet a few of the members of the broader team at Parkside, beginning with the leadership team. So I'd like to just do a few introductions before we start. You can see on the screen in front of you the other members of the senior leadership team at Parkside. So there are a few of us. Mr. Mills is the deputy head teacher and has oversight of a number of areas of responsibility in the school, including the Parkside Support Centre, which plays a crucial role in supporting families and children to be successful in all that they do at Parkside. Mrs. Machen is our school business manager and has oversight of areas including finance, human resources, and all the nuts and bolts that make the school run as smoothly as it does. Mr. Dearman is our Director of Pastoral Care, so runs the team of people who support young people and families in a very hands-on way to make sure that they can be successful in all that they do in their time with us at Parkside. Mrs. Asher is the first of 6 directors of the curriculum that I'd like to introduce you to, but Mrs. Asher also has responsibility for the overall approach of the school to teaching youngsters across the entire curriculum. So a very important role at the school. Our 5 curriculum directors are Miss Boak, who is Director of English, Mr. Havard, Director of Mathematics, Mr. Hoban, Director of Humanities, which involves subjects like history, geography and RE. Mrs. Wharton is our Director of Science and Technology, and Mr. Chip, our Director of Arts and Personal Development, which is at the heart of all that we do across the curriculum here at Parkside. Our mission as a school has not changed. This has been very clear, very clearly spelled out as underpinning all that we do across all of our subject areas, in the ways in which we work together, that we learn together, we interact with each other, all geared towards one very simple set of goals, and that is to equip young people with what they need to be successful in their futures, whatever their dreams, hopes, wishes, aspirations may be. The curriculum is, of course, a key vehicle for that. So what children learn in their time with us at Parkside is the main mechanism or the main means by which we help young children to develop those various skills, that great depth of knowledge, and those key attributes that will enable them to go on and be successful in whatever it is that they intend to achieve in the future. We're very interested in trying to work with young people to steer them along a very personalised pathway during their time at Parkside. So we will be very keen during your early days particularly to understand what it is that you'd like to achieve at the end of your 5 years, be that a next step on to possibly a school sixth form to study A-levels initially, but whether it's a longer term ambition to go on to university or a particular career that you may have in mind. It may be, other than academic, that you have a range of interests that you'd like to pursue, and we may be able to help you with that through the curriculum and the extracurricular programme and through all the other opportunities that we're able to support you to enjoy and be successful in during your time with us. One thing I do think is very important to talk about right from the start is a set of values that we have at Parkside. These are things that we think are very, very important. So as well as studying all the different subject areas, having this huge range of experiences that enable you to develop lots of skills and competencies to become successful, we also think it's important that you develop an understanding of why these different things are important, because it's our view, our very strong view, that alongside that learning, the development of these values, these different ways of working and interacting with people that we think are very, very important, how they can affect your later life, and how developing kind of attributes and kind of personal competency in these areas can make all the difference between a young person who is equipped with a set of knowledge and skills to go on and make a difference, and a young person who is simply following possibly a career path with no necessary goal in mind in terms of what they want to achieve in the world and the way that they'd like to do it. So I won't talk about these in any great detail here. The words are on the screen. We will talk about these an awful lot with youngsters when they come up to school. A couple of them I would underline as being particularly important are respect and appreciation of diversity. So respect is a very simple one. A very clear rule that we have for everybody at Parkside is that we show enormous respect towards each other. We listen to each other, we take the time to consider each other's views, we are courteous, we are polite, we do the little things like holding the door open, saying good morning, using our manners, the basic things that many of us take for granted. And yet it's quite amazing how many people and visitors at Parkside comment on the extent to which our students show great respect towards each other and towards visitors and adults at the school. So respect is very, very important to us all at Parkside, and we look forward to you kind of contributing to that and showing us how you can be respectful members of our school community. I mentioned diversity as well. That's particularly important to us also. So as well as being respectful of each other, we also appreciate that we're all different, and those differences that we have in lots of different ways make us the strong community that we are. We're very proud of the fact that we're not all the same, and we celebrate the differences that exist between us. Those differences make us stronger as a school community, and we are very, very, very committed to increasing the understanding, tolerance, appreciation of those differences that exist within our school community, and celebrating those for the reasons I've just outlined. Okay, more to come on values in the future. Going back a couple of slides, just along the lines of trying to support you to be successful in the future. These hard competencies are very, very important goals that are designed to be achieved through the curriculum and through various careers-related opportunities that you'll have throughout your time at Parkside. We work very, very closely with what we call our destinations partners. So think about your destination after your time in Year 11. That might be an apprenticeship, it might be a job, it could be a school sixth form or a college place, or another aspirational destination, somewhere that you're aiming really high to achieve, and a place that we want to get you to. What those destinations partners tell us is that these are the characteristics that successful youngsters have. So they are self-motivated, self-assured and confident. They have high aspirations of themselves and others. They want to do well and aim high. They're informed about the world, and they understand about current issues, and they have the essential knowledge that they need to be successful in whatever they do. They have experienced achievement, and they have been successful themselves as a result of their hard work. They are accountable, which means that they are prepared to take responsibility for themselves, their actions and their own success, and do what it takes to be successful in what they do. They are resilient, a word that's used an awful lot in education and in the workplace these days. So resilience means being able to come back from difficulties, being able to overcome hurdles and barriers to go on to be successful. And if anything, it's those hurdles, barriers and those knockbacks throughout our learning and throughout our time that make us stronger. And we see those as learning opportunities for growth and development that don't necessarily come from constant success. And it's that makes us much stronger. They are entrepreneurial, so they come up with new ways of solving problems, and can use their kind of innovative approaches and their intuition, their instinct to make judgment calls in new scenarios. And a lot of that is around applying what's been learned to new situations and thinking on your feet, which is obviously an important requirement in the real world, as well as in different subject areas as you'll experience throughout year 7 and beyond. And the last competency that's mentioned there is being cooperative, because in school and in the workplace, the ability to work effectively with other people is absolutely essential. I started off this slideshow with a shot of the senior leadership team and talked through some of their roles. We work together very effectively as a team to help Parkside to be as successful as it is, but we are part of a much broader team across Parkside as well. And you are part of that team just as much as I am, or any member of staff at the school. So it's important that you learn to cooperate in order to be successful yourself, but also to be successful as part of a much bigger organisation and a bigger unit. So those competencies combined are very, very important to your future. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Mrs. Asher now, who is, as I mentioned earlier, Director of Teaching, and Mrs. Asher has oversight of the school curriculum. So everything that you will learn during your time at Parkside, that's what we mean by the school curriculum. Okay, so Mrs. Asher.
Hello everybody, my name is Mrs. Asher and I am Director of Teaching and also Head of Modern Foreign Languages. Your child will experience a broad, balanced and cohesive curriculum during their time at Parkside. The curriculum is designed to start from a learner's existing knowledge, and your child will be actively involved in his or her learning process. The curriculum's organisation enables students opportunities for constant recapping of knowledge and skills with well-spaced review points. The development of literacy skills is an integral component of the curriculum, and all subjects develop literacy through structured talk, reading, writing, and subject-specific vocabulary instruction. The following slides will show you an insight into the learning which will take place during your child's first year here with us at Parkside.
Hello, my name is Miss Boak and I am Director of English at Parkside School. I just want to talk to you really briefly about what your child will be studying in English during the course of Year 7. You can see all the detail here on the screen, but in particular I just want to say a few words about Term 1. Normally when children arrive in Year 7, we spend about 2 weeks doing a sort of boot camp, a literacy boot camp, just to remind students of all the skills that they've learnt up to at the end of Year 6, and then we launch into the main body of our curriculum. However, this year, because there has been so much disruption to learning, we've written a completely new scheme of work to start the year, which is going to last that first sort of half term. It's hopefully going to be fun. It's based around the theme of a world tour, but it really is going to spend some time going over all those literacy skills, the reading, the writing, and the structured talk that students will need to make sure that they are confident and successful during their English lessons in Year 7. So at the end of that scheme, we'll launch in to the main body of our curriculum. So we're looking at Shakespeare. After Christmas, we will look at non-fiction reading and writing. And then we read a lovely novel. We have a couple that we choose from, and we do some writing based on that. And we finish the year with a really lovely adaptation of Frankenstein. It's a play version, and it's written by a very popular children's writer, Philip Pullman, and it's a fun way to introduce them to 19th century sort of ideas and themes. And it's a great way to end the year. Hopefully your child's going to really enjoy their English lessons in Year 7. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you.
Hi, this is Mr. Havard. I'm the Director of Mathematics. I'm going to talk some through the basic principles behind which topics are taught in Year 7 Maths and the sequencing of those lessons. Essentially, in Y7, we try to include most of the core knowledge that is needed during terms 1 and 2. To give an example, we teach solving equations during term 1. That knowledge is absolutely essential to the understanding of rearranging formula, solving questions about circles, even the rearrangement of the speed formula, and even rearrangement of formula that involves volume of 3D shapes. So as you can see, it's important to make sure that solving equations is taught and understood in great depth in order to be able to answer questions during term 5 and 6. Another example would be calculating averages. This is something that is used in everyday life quite frequently, but is also something that will be used when calculating speed and even measuring angles to find averages of the angles measured, etc. So as you can see throughout the year, a whole range of topics are taught, but the core knowledge is taught at the beginning of the year and built upon during terms 3, 4, 5 and 6. Not only will the sequence of lessons continue throughout Year 7, but these core skills and core knowledge will be built upon during Years 8, 9 and through to their GCSE years. It's also important to note that we're now introducing a finances topic into each year group. We believe that the very basic understanding of finances, how it works, and how the mathematics is deployed within those topics is incredibly important for everyday understanding of the real world. We are also making the topics as interactive as possible with practical examples. So when calculating speed, we do like to have the students measuring their own speed, whether it's walking or jogging or running a certain distance outside on the yard or the field, and therefore giving them practical examples of how calculating speed can be used, and then it would integrate calculating averages as well. In terms of the angles and measuring and shapes, we'll also try and do mini orienteering tasks so that students can understand how angles are formed and therefore use it in a practical way. Hopefully that makes sense. Thank you.
Spanish is usually one of the subjects students enjoy the most in Year 7, as they really get to immerse themselves into language learning for the first time. We don't expect any student to have any prior knowledge of Spanish, as during the first term we start with the basics and build quite rapidly from simple sentences to being able to take part in short dialogues and understand various types of texts. We use lots of video and audio material, we play lots of games to engage the students, and the students have access to a comprehensive vocabulary booklet containing the key vocab and grammar needed for the whole of Year 7. As you can see from the slide, in term 1, we start with the basics, names, ages, pets, immediate family, and then we move on to free time, expressing likes and dislikes. In term 3, We are able to describe our school, including opinion phrases, favourite classes, teachers, etc. On to term 4, where we look at family and friends, personal descriptions and characteristics. Term 5 looks at their local area and making arrangements to go out. And then as we move into term 6, we talk about future plans. The great thing about the Spanish curriculum is that each unit of work revisits prior learning, so students throughout the year have the opportunity to consolidate their vocab and grammar skills as they progress throughout the year. If you need any more information about Spanish, please don't hesitate to contact me, Mrs. Asher, at Parkside.
Hi and welcome to Humanities at Parkside. The Humanities at Parkside is made up of the subjects of geography and history, and that's studied at 7, 8 and 9. If we start with the Year 7 geography course first, we can see that the students study a skills topic in term 1. This is there to build up those skills that they will need to be successful in geography, to progress, and to help them become a global citizen. Then each term we can see that they're studying a different topic, and each of those is either on a physical geography or on a side of human geography. So the physical topics such as glaciers in Antarctica, rivers and flooding, and the human geography looking at earning a living, for example, in term 3. Some of these topics also, like the UK ecosystems, has an element of learning outside of the classroom. If we move on to history in Year 7, we can see this is set up slightly differently. Instead of doing a different topic each term, 4 units are studied throughout the year. Again, this starts with looking at the historical skills. These will be looking at things like chronology, interpretation, source use, for example, and these are the skills that will run throughout Key Stage 3 history. After this, we move on to Roman and medieval Britain, exploring life in these different time periods, comparing it with today, looking at their entertainment, their living conditions, key events, key people of these time periods. Finally, we look at a bit of local history because we think that is important, looking at some of the significant people linked with Chesterfield, where students have to figure out and decide for themselves who was Chesterfield's greatest resident. These topics will then be built upon in years 7, 8 and 9, looking at different parts of British, European and world history in a chronological fashion.
Hi, good evening. I'm Mrs. Wharton and I'm the Director of Science and Technology at Parkside School. I'm going to start by talking to you about design and technology. This is a subject that you'll study as part of a carousel. That means that you will change your timetable every 6 weeks and you'll study different creative subjects. This is to give you the opportunity to study a range of different curriculum areas so that when you're in year 10, you're ready to make those option choices. It's split into 4 topic areas. So that will mean that you studied design and technology 3 times, and then I'll explain topic 4 at the end. You start off in topic 1 with the sweet dispenser. The year 7s this year absolutely loved this project because they were able to take it home as well. You'll learn some basic hand working skills, so working with plastics and working with woods and how to join those together. You'll also have the opportunity of working with computer aided design to create the graphics that go onto your sweet dispenser. In topic 2, you'll work more collaboratively as part of a team. Now this will teach you a lot about how design teams in industry really do work and give you the opportunity to take on different roles within that team. In topic 3, you'll learn how to make a pop-up card or pop-up book. You'll design the graphics for that and design the mechanisms that will make your pop-ups come out of the book. In topic 4, this is where you'll use all of your collective skills that you've learned throughout all of the creative subjects throughout the year. This will fall in term 6, and together as part of a team, you'll plan and deliver an event at school. As you can see, the creative structure is the same throughout these subjects. So catering, you'll study 3 different topics. Topic 1 being again starting with those basic skills. In this case, it's food safety, working on basic cooking skills along with food hygiene. In topic 2, you'll start to really build on those skills that you gained in topic 1. So learning how to present dishes, learning what a balanced diet looks like, and learning how to evaluate the dishes that you have made. In topic 3, this is when you're looking a lot more detail at the nutritional elements of some of those foods, including foods that have got a high calcium content, protein, iron, and so on. And then again, like the other creative subjects, term 4, you'll be working on the event planning project. Through this slide, you can see the sequencing that takes place in computer science. You should be able to see that in topic 1, like with the other subject areas that I've already talked about, we'd start off with basic skills. So there's nothing to worry about if you haven't studied computer science in primary school and it's new for you. We'll build all of those basic skills in for you in topic 1. Topic 2, you'll learn to do some really exciting computer programming. You'll work with a piece of software called Scratch and you'll get to create your own Super Mario game. In topic 3, you'll start to develop some skills in computer graphics, using software such as Fireworks and developing a lot of skills within that different topic area. And then again, finalising with bringing in the skills from a range of those different creative subject areas to plan and develop an event.
In science, students work to look at the key concepts of biology, chemistry and physics under a thematic approach. They begin in the September looking at the key elements of chemistry, working alongside Detective Pikachu to develop their scientific skills of analysing and testing different and problem solving. They look at separation techniques, the particle model, and acids and alkalis within this topic. In the January, they move on to look at the physics part of the course, working alongside Buzz Lightyear in his attempt to return to space. Here they look at energy transfers, energy resources, forces, and the solar system. And finally, they move on to look at the biology part of the course under the human body, working alongside the cast of Inside Out. They look at the cells as building blocks of life and the various systems such as digestive, circulatory and respiratory system within our body. Underneath all of this, pupils use problem-solving skills, scientific skills to work and look at different issues faced by people across the world today. They look at how science is a relevant subject and the range of careers that they can go on to study later on in life.
Hello, my name's Mr. Chip. I am the Director of Art and PD at the school. What I'm going to do is talk through some of this stuff and allow you to have a think about it, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different subjects that I look after in the school. So look, the first thing to say, don't believe what anyone else has said. Performing arts is the best subject in the school for sure. Okay, you're going to study 4 different topics. You're going to have a great time doing it. You will learn about acting skills, but more importantly, you'll get an opportunity to work in groups, develop your confidence, and you'll learn a lot about how other people think and feel. And that's really what the performing arts is all about. If you're really interested in performing, there's loads of opportunities for you to get involved in public performances. You can join the theatre group that runs 1 or 2 evenings after school, and you can even get involved in the drama club that runs at lunchtime. There's lots of stuff for you to do. So as you can see from the different topics that I've got up here, some of them are quite historical. So we've got theatre history. That's brilliant. You learn everything from Greek theatre right to modern stuff, and you don't just learn about it in a historical way, you actually physically have to learn how to perform. Now, some of you watching this video will be getting a little bit nervous about the idea of standing up in front of a class and performing. I just want to reassure you, we never ask you to stand up and perform until you're ready. We make sure that you get lots of chances to practice in a class, and we make sure that you have the opportunity to feel confident about what you're doing. You will get up and perform, but you'll feel confident when you do it. Okay, so don't worry about it if you're one of those people that feels a bit nervous about performing. I'll help you do a really good job, okay? Next subject that we're going to talk about is music. So in music, you'll study that twice throughout the year, and you're really, really lucky because this is the start of music within Parkside. We're buying loads of new instruments, we've got a new music teacher, and you'll be studying a new curriculum, so it's a really exciting time. You can see from the 2 units that we've got here that you'll be studying what's called samba, which is a rhythm-based music, and you'll be exploring lots of other music from different parts of the world, which is really, really exciting. Second unit is you'll be learning about keyboard skills and how to compose music on an electronic keyboard. It's really, really exciting stuff. There's also extracurricular things you can do and get involved in as well, which is really, really exciting. And I hope you'll take part in those. Last subject that I'm going to talk about in the arts side of things is art. Very well established. We've got a fantastic teacher here. You'll be going down to the art studio, working with different mediums and learning about the basic building blocks of art and how to draw, paint and sculpt in an amazing way. We are pretty lucky here. We enter some competitions and we have been known to win them. So hopefully you'll carry on that great tradition that we've started. Next subject area that I'm going to talk about briefly is PE. I know you've got a lot of sports people out there. We've been hearing some great things about the work that you've been doing in your primary schools. Looking at all this is the PE stuff that you can do throughout the year. We've got 2 fantastic PE teachers. Hopefully you've already seen their welcome YouTube videos that they've made. They've asked me to tell you to make sure that you remember to bring your kit when you can and make sure that you perform your absolute best in all PE lessons. They believe that everyone can take part in a team sport, and hopefully you'll learn a lot from the masses of opportunities you've got here to do the different sports that are on offer. Last thing I'm going to talk about is personal development. Personal development is a huge subject and we take it very seriously at Parkside. It's studying all the different things that you don't get the opportunity to study in a lot of subjects. So things like thinking about racial prejudice. As you can see in term 3, we study something called diversity. We look at the amazing amount of different types of people with different beliefs and different ideas that make up our society in England. There's loads and loads of different opportunities for you to study different things. It's a real chance in the curriculum for you to have a chance to talk to us about things that are worrying you or bothering you. This leads me to talk about this logo. This idea about caring about the choices that will shape your future. This is central to what we believe at Parkside. We want you to care about yourself and about other people. And we want you to think about what you choose to do. Because if you make the right choices here at Parkside and choose to do things that are good, you will go on and have an amazing future, not just here, but for the rest of your life. And all of us at Parkside are really excited to be a part of that. So I'm going to hand over now to someone else who's going to talk you through the rest of the curriculum and other areas. Hope you've enjoyed the presentation and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in September.
At Parkside School, the experiences that sit within our curriculum are embedded within what we plan to teach. You've probably seen on our website our tagline of small school, strong values, great experiences. And we really do take this seriously, as in if your children can experience things beyond the curriculum that link to what they're learning, they're far more to have a deeper experience and understand more and take away more from what they're looking at. As you can see from these images, these are just a small snapshot of some of the experiences that happened just this last year for the young people in our school. ranging from the art presentations to some science and technology experiences at local universities to all of our sports fixtures that happen every year. You've probably seen quite a few emails from me, either through your primary school or directly through the email addresses that you've provided us with. We've been receiving an absolutely amazing amount of transition work, and I just wanted to share some of those snapshots of transition work with you. It's been absolutely fantastic to see how much you've been engaging with this and the high quality level of work that you've been doing, and I just want to say really, really well done for those of you that have been doing that. If you have been doing it and you haven't been sending it in, please make sure that you send it into the Year 6 transition email address and get that into us so that we can start picking out students, and we'll be praising them on our website for Stars of the Week.
Okay everyone, well that's about it for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed this virtual transition evening. We've certainly enjoyed putting it together for you. Just want to finish with a couple of things. So first of all, that all exciting first day. So details are up on the screen behind me, and we will be writing to you and your parents over the summer holidays with lots more information about exactly how things will work. Of course, you'll probably be aware that things are a bit uncertain about how the whole of the autumn term will work at the moment, but we're very clear about this first day and what that will mean for you. So, Friday, the 4th of September, you will arrive in school, very excited, looking very, very smart in your new Parkside uniform, at 8:30 on the basketball court. So they're the courts right in front of the main block of school, the A block, and there we will meet you, equally excited, ready to welcome you into school. So lots more details to follow on what that first day will look like in a letter you'll receive from us during the summer holidays. Now, whilst we hope we've answered lots of questions that you might have, there may well be some burning questions that you still have following this presentation. Normally in these evenings there'll be a chance for you to ask questions. We appreciate this is one of the problems of this kind of approach. Now, what you can do, if you'd like to, is using the email address that you can see on the screen behind me. That's transition@parkside.derbyshire.8sch.uk. You can send an email in to us to ask any individual questions you may have about anything we've said during this presentation or about anything to do with starting with us in September. Now, as I said a few minutes ago, chances are some of those questions might be answered in the letter you get from us in August, but you don't need to take that chance necessarily if there's something really, really important. So please do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to be able to help you with any questions or queries that we may have. And as we have said a number of times this evening, we really, really, really look forward to welcoming you to Parkside in September. Okay, goodbye for now.